Hello, my name is Luca, and in my fellowship project, I work for Infinity International on a project aimed at the prediction of high-value business clients. So let's start by explaining what is Infinity International. Infinity International is a foreign exchange broker. They buy currencies from a bank, and they sell it to customers, which can be both business and personal customers. So why would a customer go for a broker? Is because they can get from a broker a better exchange rate than they'll get from a bank. So the customers are happy because they get their foreign exchange for a lower price, and the broker makes a profit out of the transaction. In this project, I mostly focused on business customers. And the business problem I was trying to solve is that for Infinity International, as it is common for most businesses, the top 10% of customers, which you can define as high-performing, bring up approximately 70% of the total revenue. So being able to understand what makes a customer becomes high-performing would be of extremely high value to Infinity International. So the question I was trying to solve in this fellowship project was, can machine learning predict these high-performing clients? And if you can predict them given some company characteristics, this could tremendously help the client acquisition and retention strategies. So how did I try to solve my business problems? I took Infinity International client books and extracted some qualitative information about the companies from Companies House, on which all UK-based companies are required to file this information. This information included information about the directors who control the company, where the company was located, and what sort of business activity they did. And I combined it with some quantitative balance sheet information. All UK companies are once again required to file their balance sheet publicly, and I extracted this information from a public API. Then I tried a variety of models, and the best one that I found, the best performing one, was a gradient boosted decision tree available through the library XGBoost. And this decision tree outputs a probability that a client will be high-performing. So how does my model work? It performed pretty well considering how many factors the data do not include. For example, the human interactions between the broker and the clients. So let's run through some examples to show how the model can be useful. So the current strategy, which is basically based on traditional means and contacting customers in bulk, leads to a portfolio of clients, the top 10% of which we define as high performance. If we only took clients with a predicted probability above 20%, by the same definition of high performing, the top 30% of them would be high performing, which is like a threefold increase. This comes at a price because 20% of the clients would be missed, but it's a trade-off. So you get a higher percentage of high-performing clients, but a lower total number of them. If you take an even larger probability threshold of 35%, you get a much larger percentage of high-performing clients, approximately 70%, but at the same time, you're going to miss approximately 50% of them. So what is the optimal strategy? This depends a lot on the immediate aim and resources that are available to the company at a certain moment of time. If their aim is to get as many customers as possible, they are going to use very conservative probability thresholds. This will lead to a portfolio of clients, a low percentage of which will be high-performing, but with a lot of high-performing clients comparatively. On the other hand, if they decided to allocate less resources, they can use them to target fewer companies, but a greater proportion of which will be high-performing. So it's, at the end, a matter of trade-off and what the immediate aim is. So what is the impact? I applied the model to some recently acquired clients, so Infinity can, in the future, target them for retention, and in particular focus the targeting strategies towards those that are likely to bring the most revenue in the future. And also for companies that have not been acquired yet, it can be used to tune the acquisition retention strategies in the way I already described, so depending on their available resources and aims. At the end, it's always worth to apply Pareto's principle, also known as the 80-20 rule. So you should always focus most of your efforts on the few leads that are going to give you the great majority of results. Thank you for listening.